Hello, today I'd like to introduce the book Start With Why by Simon Sinek. The book's core message is as follows. We must always start with why you want to do something, rather than the what's and the how's. How we want to achieve it and what is the ultimate purpose is secondary, and we must first answer why is it important that we do it. However, most people instead choose to focus on the what's and the how's, the how it's going to be achieved, what the product is, how it's such a better product and how it's better than the competitors. These are easier to define, easy to see, yet the whys exist in a plane of emotions and values and are very much harder to define. However, according to the author, in order to ensure long-term success, we must, and both companies and individuals must answer the question of why. For example, we can take Apple, the multinational smartphone slash computer company. Apple is not simply a company that sells computers. No, they sell innovation. They sell a value, the value of challenging the status quo. Simply, the Apple's computers and smartphones are simply the how of which they in which they want to achieve their why. This is cemented by the fact that Apple fans absolutely adore their Apple devices. They feel pride in using them, and not simply using them, they enjoy them. In contrast, Samsung and HP computer users don't have this kind of loyalty, this kind of respect for the company of for their respective companies. Instead, they like the computer because it's cost effective and it has all the right functions. However, simply looking at price and function is not enough to ensure brand loyalty. In order to ensure this kind of loyalty, companies must provide an ultimate why. And this is not a logical thing, it is not a practical thing, it exists on the instinctual, emotional level. Just like how we can't clearly, easily answer why we love this person or why we're passionate about something, these whys exist in a plane in the most, not in the surface level of the brain, but in the deeper parts of the brain, of our psyche. Simply focusing on the product is not enough. There's no reason why customers shouldn't move on to different products that offer better circumstances, better functions, better whatevers. In order to ensure this kind of loyalty, the why must be clear, and only then does the how and the what have meaning. In another example, Simon Sinek uses Samuel Langley. He was not only a physicist, but a PhD, and he received lots of money from the government as well as the Smithsonian Institute to create the first heavier-than-air airplane. He had both the credentials as well as the money, yet Langley ultimately failed, whereas the Wright brothers, who had no financial support and didn't have any education worth mentioning, ultimately succeeded in flying the first aerial airplane. For them, the difference lies in the why, according to Simon Sinek. For Langley, the airplane was simply a method to obtain riches and fame. In contrast, the Wright brothers had passion, and they wanted to realize the vision of making the world a better place through their device, through their airplane. In order to achieve long-term success, this case shows why the why is so important. And this is what made the most impact for me out of all the content in this book. This actually reminds me of Dostoevsky's book, Crime and Punishment. Here, the main character, Raskolnikov, murders someone and steals their money in order to prove, ultimately, and deep in his psyche, that he can reach the heights of Napoleon, that he has the potential to be the next Alexander. For him, the why was fame, prestige. And in order to achieve that why, he could do anyhow. However, simply success, simple fame, fortune is not enough to create a truly foundational why. Everyone wants to succeed and everyone wants to become someone important, but what's more important is why they want to succeed. Through this book, I started asking myself the same questions. Why do I need to do this work? Why does this company exist? Why do I need to succeed? These are not easily answered questions, but they are imperative questions that must be asked, because if we have a wrong why, we can make mistakes, we can make the wrong choices, and ultimately we can give up in the middle of the road. This book had a lot of repetitive content. However, I would still like to recommend this book to anyone because it truly made me think about the whys in my life, and it made me think about how much I can change my process to start with the why instead of just looking at what's in the house, instead of looking at the possibilities, looking at the reasons. Thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful day.